What's up? Real life? Yeah, real life. What's up? Lovely. What's going on? Here's what's going on. I've changed my master's topic from cache eviction policies to Radiance Cascades. Yeah, that happened basically, and now I need to implement those. So that's what I'm doing on this stream and future streams. Today we're going to implement this, just kind of this like paint-like ability to render this like painted texture. What we are starting with, we are not starting from zero, fortunately. We are starting from actually some template. This is a really simple app I've made. It's basically noise. It's a texture that is updated with noise every couple frames. And behind the scenes, as we can see, we have a callback that traces our cursor. And I believe that this is all we need to make a working example of this like paint-like app, which is pretty neat, I would say. Okay, so this code is terrible at this moment because I was testing something first of all, and yeah, so as you can see, this is all in main, so this is pretty bad. This has been totally web coded. I will rewrite this shader. I mean, it works, so I don't know if I have to rewrite it because I just didn't want to write like an import function. This is just boring stuff. Like, this is not the point. So this is done by GPT, but now we are going to be coding actually from scratch. And there's a classic aliasing from mine, so just like Rust style, you can say. It's funny because I never coded in Rust, but I really believe that this is a superior way of typing, as in, types. So what do we need? I think that we'll start from actually creating a texture structure, texture class. I think we'll call it a class. It's a 2D texture. I mean, there won't be another texture probably, so calling it a 2D is kind of like, oh look, I know there are like other textures, so maybe let's not be pretentious then. In the private section, the only thing that it has is a U64, which is ID. It's like a handle that you can then operate on from. It's a handle to basically an address, I believe, to a place on a GPU. And it's an namespace called Radiance Cascades. So let's put it here. So immediately you want also a public accessor, is 64 ID. Okay, that's good. Now let's take a look at what's going on here really. So we are declaring a texture. We are declaring it will be wrapped both on like, I think in like both dimensions. Then we are declaring a filter for MIP mapping, which I'm pretty sure won't happen because yeah, this won't happen ever because as you can see, this will be like a playground more. So I don't think that there will be the MIP mapping won't be necessary here, right? Because it's just a single texture. We are not really... MIP mapping is there to be basically prevent like really terrible aliasing when you would texture with a high resolution texture something that is really far away in the game. So we don't really need that, I believe. Holy shit, I know something about this actually. Again, mag filter. I don't remember what mag filter was. It's probably something the same. It's something the same for like scaling. yeah, it's yeah, I think it also has something to do with mapping. I don't think we need to have this set, and we don't need to make mip maps, I believe. So now if we build it, I think we should have it working still. If it's not, that will be embarrassing, let's say. So let's see if it works. It doesn't. Well, that's embarrassing. So maybe we needed some of those, I guess. I really don't think we need mip mapping here. Like, why do we need mip mapping? I mean, we are not really using it. Maybe there's like something underlying I just don't know, which may be the case. Yeah, I think that generate mip maps is something that we need here. Well, that's embarrassing. That's a good start for a stream. Immediately blundered. Yeah, so mip maps are kind of, from what I see. Oh man. I really don't know this. I will need to learn about this. Maybe learn OpenGL has something about it. Okay, so this is basically a magnification filter from what I see. So it's basically when you probably need to upscale it. I mean, build it on something that will be like a higher scale. Well, we won't be doing that, so maybe we don't. Maybe we can get away with not setting that and just getting less code. Okay, so we have this code. We can probably create like a constructor for it. It will be a default constructor, and just put it here. Now we'll be passing a pointer here to this. Yeah, actually, we can probably, maybe we actually should zero it at the beginning. Okay, so what's going on here? Like, why doesn't it accept it? Cannot initialize parameter with unsigned int with a value. Why are we still using long? Like, who fucking... Why are we still using long? Oh, I see, it's U32 maybe? Yeah, because the GPU is 32-bit architecture, I think, right? The addresses on GPU are 32 bits. So that makes sense. I'm really rusty. Yeah, so those are 32-bit. Makes sense. ID. Okay. And we don't need this for now. So this basically kind of initializes our texture to be like an empty shell, but we are not really buffering the data for this texture yet. And this isn't, I think, really great that we are not buffering the data for it at the start. We probably should be buffering the data for it at the start. Yeah, we probably should be buffering data at the start. So yeah, so we'll probably like require a pointer. A pointer? Well, we'll surely be requiring here. Like, why do we use it like that? That's so bad. Yeah, I mean, for simplicity, we can start probably just width and height. And height U64. And at the end, let's also pass a pointer to the data, and this should be U8 pointer. well, actually, a void pointer probably, because we'll represent it differently. And this is not explicit then. And we can kind of ease out here. Now, this is a lot of, I assume a lot of things, that it will be an RGB texture, which it won't be always an RGB texture. I know it right now. And it's kind of limiting to use just an RGB texture here. So, yeah, it's kind of limiting. But for now, it's a prototype. It will suffice. What we also need to do, well, in such case, we can also probably store. It will probably be smart to store both height and U64 width, and we'll be updating those. I mean, we'll be assigning those here. Okay, so we have this, and why does it scream at us? Because it's not used. Okay, so we'll also have two accessors for those. Okay. So there won't be an option to resize this, but there will be an option to store new data to this texture. So let's call this function like update data, update texture. And again, we'll be passing a void pointer data. And where is this piece of code? Here, text sub image. What this basically does is it allows us to kind of fill the region of the texture with whatever you want. But it can be also used as as a way to buffer a new data here. And maybe let's ensure that the data is actually there, like the data is with us. Because if it's not, then I don't think we should be doing that. And we should just like CR, yeah. Passed in, holy shit. Passed in empty data pointer to update texture. To texture constructor. Okay. Okay, so this is cool. How do we delete a texture in OpenGL? OpenGL delete texture. Can we do this? GL delete textures. So we can, but for some reason we need like multiple. Whatever is safe on. Whatever is safe on. So texture. So okay, so so it's okay. It's a pretty decent API because we can just do one and then we can just do ID like that, and I think it's okay. It checks out. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay. Why am I so fucking sleepy? I don't understand this. Okay, so we have a texture, which is pretty cool. So now instead of doing this, we can just do RC texture, sample texture, hello to somebody who has joined the chat. Good to see you. Screen photo suite, general screen height. And at the end we have the data. Okay. So we also need a way to bind it. And then later we will also need a way to bind it to a specific location, specific sampler location, right? So we might currently do like, well, I will think about like binding it, but let me see actually how it's done properly. Okay, so you first activate texture and then you just bind it. So what I would propose would be to let's do it like that. Let's do update texture and then let's do bind texture. And this will take in position maybe. I don't know how to better define it because yeah, this is tricky. I don't know how to better define this because this is a defined, right? This is a fucking preprocessor thingy, and I don't know how to like check for it correctly. Yeah, that's something I guess. So, and because GL texture 0 probably isn't a 0 probably, which is like not really cool. GL texture 0. That's how it's called. Texture. No, it's just without the. Yeah, if you look at this, it's not actually 0. It's like whatever this is, bro. So that's a bit of a problem, I would say, because you cannot pass 0 here, and I don't really like those defines. So I will do something extreme, I think. I don't really want to do this though. Like, well, for now, this is obviously some bullshit here. Well, let's say it's integer, I guess. But I really hate it like that. Maybe it's a texture slot. I don't like it, but for now, that's how we'll do it. And actually, it's this const, I believe. We're not changing anything. And then we'll just do GL bind texture. GL bind texture. Holy shit. Can we please GL texture to the texture slot? No, ID. I'm sorry, ID. Yeah, so that should bind it. So now we can just do sample texture bind texture, and it's a GL texture 0, and then we can do sample texture, update texture, and image data. Okay, and that should work. And it does. Lovely. Oh man, that's it feels good to be good at something. Holy shit. So that's something. Okay. The next thing that we'll need will be to abstract away certain things, like, okay, so since we have this already, maybe let's just be nice and create for it a file called texture h rc texture h and let's just copy it more or less. Need to include aliasing, and we need to include this, I think, and we need to include like a IO probably too. So this will be here. And we need to include constants. And that's okay. So now we can do here include texture h. Okay. And it should still work. Yep, it still works. Now we'll just create texture C. And yeah, let's take this. Okay. What now? Let me think for a second. So we have this. So now we need the buffer in which we'll be able to input that we are basically writing something. Okay. And then this buffer will be updated. Then this buffer, data from this buffer will be put into the texture basically. That's what we are going to do right now. It's a mess here. I know it's a messy code here. Just in time it will get better. Yeah, in time it will get better. Just bear with me. So now we are making a buffer. let's call it maybe just pixel buffer, I guess. Drawing, maybe drawing class canvas. Oh, canvas. That's a cool IT world. That's a cool tech world, right? Canvas. It has a private. It has a private GLM U8 vec-free buffer with data, and yeah, that's what it has basically. And we will be able to update the texture when we are writing to it. So just bear with me. There's a canvas. There is canvas. Now we need, what do we need? First of all, we need the constructor, right? Start with the basics. So it will also has U64 width and height. What's wrong? Hello, there's one person that's watching the stream. What am I doing is a Radiance Cascades renderer. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the goal will be something like that. It's a modern global illumination technique. However, right now I'm focusing on the first stage, so just drawing things, because we need to have drawing before we make like this global illumination thing. I need to do this actually. Let me just make height times width times 3, because 3 well, actually no, since this is data of, also we just need this. Yeah, that's good. So we have this, and the constructor will be allocating data. And in this structure we'll be deallocating it. Okay. What we need to do now? Okay, so I don't want this to be movable. This can be movable, I guess, but I don't foresee this being moved a lot, actually. So yeah, I don't think it will be either moved or copied. Yeah, it won't be moved and copied. So let's delete copy and move constructors, because we just clearly don't need them. I mean, wait a second. I must check something before proceeding. Okay, so since we have a destructor, we just need to delete those. I think. Since we have a destructor, the move constructor won't be created, so we just need to delete those. Okay. Will this be ever used? I don't think so. Well, let's have here for bookkeeping, I guess. But, okay. And what we also need probably is returning const pointer to the data. Maybe we need this, I'm not sure. Let's make it like that for now, but I'm not sure if we need this actually. It might be the case that we just don't need it. And this is canvas, it actually should probably, so those are like basic properties of it, right? Apart from this, we'll have like some auxiliary functions, and the first auxiliary function will be something like when you look at this up here, we can adjust the brush radius, and so let's also make it here because I believe that this can be integrated into one class. Brush radius. I don't necessarily think it should be 64, but we will probably avoid a lot of conversions if we just keep the 64 vibe going. So we have brush radius, which can be default initialized to like 10, probably. But regardless, we'll just take it in here as U64 brush radius, and let's initialize it like 10, and we'll actually see if there is like if this is to change. Okay, and this will be changeable, but yeah, as always, let's just define a simple here function. It's called brush radius. And you're probably wondering how are we going to be setting it, and I already have a solution to that. When we import the UI, we'll just make this UI a friend of this class, so we won't have to deal with like intermediate variables and shit. That's what I think right now, and we'll see if that works. Maybe that's a totally not a correct way to do this, but we'll think. Yeah. So we have canvas, we have this, and one more thing that we need is probably draw here, like draw, something like that basically. It's a void function, it's a draw, it will take in position, U64, position, so X and U64Y. And so it immediately calls for like a helper function here in bounds. Which will be checking if a point. So actually, we should maybe let me think. How do we actually draw? How do we? That's a good question. How do we draw a circle like that? That's a great question, honestly. How do you draw it? I feel like a moron right now. This is just a flat fill with checking if it's in bounds and if it's in the radius. It seems so. It seems so. It's just it's like that. I'm perplexed here. Yeah. So yeah, it seems to me like it's a flat fill with bounce checking. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's not really efficient, but yeah, that's just what comes to my mind. In bounce, so okay. This might also be a lambda because I don't see it being used anywhere else, to be honest. So we might change that in a second, but for now let it be a private function. So we do draw, right? So now let's calculate radius squared. Let's call it use const u64 radius 2 equals brush radius times brush radius. And now let's make a, oh yeah, it will be a lambda from what I see. Check distance, auto check distance. Return so this way we don't have to calculate the square root. Okay. We will also be using an unordered set, but an unordered set should be here, I think. Oh, do we need another set? Give me a second. Do we actually need it? Yeah, I mean, I guess might. I don't know if we need it. That's a great question. Instead of another set, we should probably allocate like a. I don't know. It's a tough question here. Oops. In case of a normal flat fill, we are just well, so what we might do here, let's say that the radius, the biggest radius will be the biggest radius, maximum radius is 50, let's say. It's 50, right? So what we might do here is define a static array of standard arrays of bytes of size 100 and 100. And so let's maybe make a const u64 max radius equals 50. And now we'll just make it here times 2. 2 times, and this I believe what's the problem? What's wrong? What's wrong? Implicit use of this pointer is only allowed of an evaluation of call to constructs. What? I understand. What? Implicit use of this pointer. I am retarded, I think. Okay, I think I know what's going on. Now we can do this because it needs to be static. Private static constructs. It's okay to use it like that, I guess. So maybe instead of making it like that, we'll just gladly move it to constants. And it will solve our problems. And here, visit it. And I believe that this array is 0 initialized. Okay, let's see. No, it doesn't say anything about being 0 initialized, so I wouldn't assume that. So what we can do, is there like a macro for zeroing memory? Macro for zeroing memory. It was 0 memory for Windows. Yeah. So I don't know how this is defined under the hood actually, and that's my problem, I think. So maybe instead of doing, because I presume that I know how it's defined, but I'm not like entirely sure. So maybe just do a single array of U8 of size, and it's called visited, and quickly let's zero it. For out of file visited, file equals 0. Okay, so now we know it's zeroed, and now what we can do is just mark it as 1 when we visit a certain block. So check distance. Let's make it also like check bounds, basically to perform this function here. What am I doing? bounds, and then hello to 2 new people, 2 new viewers. Hello everybody, and 1 viewer. Hello, please chat. That would be cool. Okay, we've both checked distance, we've been bounds, and we are going to now be well, I believe that from the point where we start. So this is a BFS, so let's use a Q. Q of, well, maybe it's kind of initialize to a GLM evec E6 U64 vec. Is there something like U64 vec 2? That checks out. Start position X and Y, and let's make a queue of those, and let's call it like just pixels, while not queue, while pixels empty. Well, that's a terrible name, pixels queue. What happened? Why are we not registering this? Why doesn't this register? We'll be doing pixels queue top. Non front, I guess. Okay. Okay. Pixels queue push start position. Okay. Pop, and then we will be flooding it, right? So if check distance, so we will rewrite it for this vector here, and then we'll be doing like V has come to. If check distance for current and inbounds current, what we're gonna be doing is we will use it to index into data. And so how are we going to index into data? We're gonna take the height. We're gonna take the height, we're going to multiply it by width and add, well, yeah, so basically how to index. And we will be returning Vy times width plus Vx. Okay. Index to index current const U64 U64 64 in index current. Okay, and then we are grabbing the data, and we are indexing it, so we don't need this index for anything. For anything else, I think. Just doing like that, and oh yeah, and we need the color. So also we need like a glm u8 vec3 color. Yeah, actually, I don't think we should be passing this to a constructor. I mean, we might. I mean, we will, because obviously, but vec3 u8 vec3 brush color, and let's make it like a default red, because I like red. Brush color. Okay. Can I just perhaps do like that? Yeah, it's cleaner. Okay, so we have this covered, and we'll just then apply this here, brush color, and we are Gucci. And at the end, we'll also, so we need like another array here. It will be an array of directions. Standard array. It's a standard array. It's of u64 vec2, and it has 8 as the size. And what are we storing here? We are storing here directions, right? So it will be -1, -1. No variable conversion from integer. Oh yeah, so it cannot be unsigned. Well, we'll think about it in a second. Oh, now what's your problem? It cannot be unsigned. What's your problem, man? O panie. Fuck, I hidden the numbers. I don't remember how to bring them back. Oh man, I've been muted. I've been muted for the last hour. Holy crap, man. Oh, and there's no webcam. Why there's no webcam either? What's going on? Yeah, thanks, fam. Like, you're a lifesaver. But yeah, back to the code. Let's reload it and let's see why doesn't it work. Okay, so there is clearly some problem here. What might be the problem? Actually, I don't know. This might be problematic. This might be problematic. Honestly, like I don't know which one to pick here. Yeah, I mean, maybe let's see how many we are printing. Yeah, maybe let's also see here in the GLFW cursor position, mouse pressed. Yeah, so also maybe let's use this. Okay, so we have this, and so now we should probably not crash like immediately. Only after like a second we should crash. Okay, and now we're crashing. Perfect. That's progress. That's progress. That's called debugging. Now, so we know that the drawing is crashing us. I'll be honest with you. I don't know which one is that. Which one that might be. That might be literally any function here. So it's not this function. It's not this function. I have a strong suspicion it might be this function. One of those. It might be one of those. And if not one of those, then it might be. Oh yeah, it might be also one of these functions. Also might be the case. I doubt it, but to be certain, let's add some print statements. In our print statement, we will kind of see what's going on here, you know. I will try and help, but I don't use this coding language. Well, you know, it's most likely like out of bounds index out of bounds exception. But I'm not sure, but I'm like 99% certain that is that. Basically what I'm doing is Radiance Cascades. It's for my master's degree. So it's this like novel global illumination technique. Global illumination is basically like ray tracing, right? And currently I'm on this stage, so just rendering like kind of like a paint picture, right? Kind of like a MS Paint app. So I'm on this stage right now, on the very beginning. and I presume there is some kind of out of bounds error. Now it should be size here. Wait a second. It's already times 3, and here we are. Okay. 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 I think. Yeah. Let's check it out. Okay, so interestingly, it's not that. It's something entirely different. It might be the stack frame. Honestly, it might be the stack frame. It's in the realm of possibility, let's say that. So what I'm going to do in such circumstance, yeah, I think it's possible that that's what's happening. But it's 8 bytes times 100 times 100, so it's 800 bytes times 4, it's 320,000 bytes. 320,000 divided by 104, it's 312 kilobytes, and stack frame in C size in C++. Stack. What? Yeah, bro. Like how much is that, bro? How much is that? Okay, so it's but it's bytes. It's bytes. It's kilobytes. Bytes. Okay, so and we are requesting this many bytes. Okay, so the issue is the stack frame. Oh, I got a new gaming console. Is that like a Sony, PlayStation, is it Xbox? What do you have? So the stack frame is the problem. So we will just do allocate it on the stack. Original, as in like which Xbox? Like the first Xbox? Holy, something like that? Like the original first. That's crazy cool, man. That's really cool. What kind of games does this run? Can it run like Metal Gear? Yeah, bro, you can play Metal Gear on this game, like on this game console. That's so cool. What games do you plan on playing on this console? What games are you planning to play? Well, but you're probably planning on playing some games, right? So I would believe, at least. a better idea than this. Let's just be smart and just use a vector for that. Sometimes I think I have like a brain fog a little bit because I'm not using like smart things. I'm just rushing in with really dumb ideas. I didn't want to use a vector because dynamic allocation will like be really slow in this place. Maybe I'm not that dumb after all. So yeah, it's still a member here. G. Yeah, I'm not that dumb after all. I knew what I was doing all along. Okay, so let's run this. And now we should... No, it still doesn't fucking work, man. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, so this runs, so the bug is somewhere else now. Let's binary search it. Oh, actually, we know it's not to index. V has come to. Well, at least now we know that that we assign it. Okay. While not pixels empty. So let's do like that. X. Okay, so it bugs on the first. That's actually a lot of data for us. Okay, so check distance. I don't think it fails. Then we have inbounds and already visited. Inbounds and check distance, they cannot fail. But maybe this can. I mean, this might. But this is after inbounds. So it should short circuit here. Oh, not this function. I'm goofy. Oh. Am I retarded? wait, 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 am I retarded? How do you... What? It can't throw an arrow, can it? X is greater than -1 and x is smaller than width. And I am retarded, I think. Yeah, I am. Dude, you know that Poland has the world's largest castle in marble? Yeah, I've been there. This castle, it has been rebuilt after the Soviets. Basically, when the Soviets were liberating, you know, basically it's different enslavement. So when the Soviets were basically enslaving Poland after the Second World War, they like burnt everything down. So the castle has been rebuilt. And I remember when I learned about this fact, I was like super disappointed that the castle didn't basically stand like that for like 600 years. Yeah, it's a really beautiful place. There's like huge statue of Maria, I think. Oh, yeah, it's like super huge. It's like really huge. Oh, and this is like the original art has been there, but it was destroyed. But yeah, it's like super huge. It's there, right? It's like really big statue. But yeah, going back here, I'm honestly perplexed. Like, what's going on here? Okay, in bounds and distance. And distance, for some reason, fails. I think that we are doing something wrong. And what we are doing wrong, actually, is that we are not... What we should be doing is V minus start position. And, yeah. There's no like length to function, I suppose. there's really like GLM, distance, magnitude. Well, that sucks honestly. But regardless, so we'll just do a const iv diff, which will be start position minus v, and then we'll, well, let's call it maybe d, and then we'll do something like this. So we're actually calculating the difference in position, and because otherwise we are not really doing anything smart, I think. Because otherwise we're just calculating the difference, the distance from the point 0, and so we will kind of never print like that. Oh! Lovely, a new bug, that's what we wanted. And Poland has deepest publicly accessible underground salt mine. Yeah, Wieliczka, I've also been there. It's actually a really cool tourist destination. A really cool tourist destination. Abort. Okay, so we have a problem here. Well, it's distance, and then we are doing already visited, I think. And this is basically too small. Have you been there? Like, have you ever been to Poland or no? Okay, what does it tell us? I mean, this is really interesting because it shouldn't be 10,000. It should be more. This is 50. This is 50, and this is 4. Okay, so it might actually be the case that it's too slow. It's too small. Okay, so this should be like marked differently then, because we are not marking from the like 0 0, but we are offsetting. So our start position is 0 0 actually. I think. I'm lost. Okay, here. So again, since our start position is 0 0, what we should be doing is, I think we should be doing it just this here and this here, and we should be substituting this with difference, and this will work. Well, we're certainly closer. Yeah, so it's still not correct. That's a little embarrassing, I guess. Okay, so this doesn't look correct to me. This looks this doesn't look correct to me necessarily. I don't know why, but this looks incorrect. And why this changes to 6400? Oh, because that's the board and not the. So now we have a problem. Yeah, this doesn't sound good to me. All right. So what's our problem currently is that we have problems with indexing the visited set. Oh, machine learning. It's pretty difficult, I guess. I was doing some machine learning some longer time ago. But I really enjoyed it, but yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, so when we are basically drawing this circle here, we are trapping it in a square, and kind of. So this square is our visited set, right? So how to fucking do that, man? I don't know how to do that, man. Honestly, like this is a difficult one, and there is this problem. Like, why does it explode? Because there is a minus, so it overflows. Yeah, it overflows because there is a minus. What if, instead of having this set called already visited, we just were checking if the pixel is currently colored, the color that we are aiming for? Wouldn't that be the same? Kind of? Because this is difficult to figure out, I think. We are basically we need to put this square over the circle. How to do this? How to move it? That's a good question. I don't know how to do this. Not yet, at least. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. This is a really difficult thing here. This is quite difficult. I think I'm gonna just write on paper and try to figure it out by myself, because this is actually pretty difficult, like what's going on here. The problem is that I'm trying to draw a circle, right? Like that. But to draw a circle, I kind of do this like flat fill algorithm. And it needs to know where it has already been, to not enter like a really long recursion. And I'm using this, so to do that, I'm basically drawing, I mean not really drawing, but I'm making this kind of visited set that is like a square that surrounds this circle, and then I'm trying to index into it, but I'm indexing in the wrong way to this visited square. And it fucks up my algorithm, and it's not really great. I'm trying to figure it out. It's pretty difficult, I think. Because we need to make the 0, 0 of it equal to so basically 0, 0 of the square, I think. So this point of the square, right, should be this minus half width and minus half height, right? So we should like move it here to be like 0, 0. And when we move it to be like 0, 0, so our like 0, 0 will be something different, some x, y, right? And then when we index, we will basically subtract this from whatever we index with. And maybe if any, yeah, and then we'll be basically checking if it's in bounds, and then we'll be checking if it's marked. And when it, and everything besides it will be true. Yeah, that's how we should do this. Not that hard, not that hard after all. Excellent work, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit. So it's called like const iv new root, which is a start position minus iv start position x divided by 2 and start position y divided by 2. It's a new root. Then when we have new coordinates, will be const translated, we'll be making v minus new root, and when we have it translated, we'll be checking if translated let me think for a second. It's not fucking easy. It's not that easy. If translated, so we are grabbing a new root, right? Then we are some coordinate. We are basically subtracting this, and I think that the translated right now will be from 0 to, should be at least from 0 to 10,000, and so we need to check if it's in bounds. Okay, if not, machine learning on my CPU, I'm working with 6502, it just checks address FC and FFD for stuff like FC. Oh, I don't think I understand what you just typed, man. I'm not that smart. And if it checks out, we'll just do translated, and that should work. And the same should go for mark visited then. But why are you like machine learning on memory addresses? But what do you mean? Like, I understand. Like, why would you use like addresses for machine learning. I don't see the connection. Yeah, I mean, should I? Oh, fuck off, man. That's difficult. Okay, so he's freaking out somewhere else, apparently. Um, Goodbye. Okay. That's not very awesome, I would say. Does this still work? Tell me yes. Okay, why for some reason it doesn't work right now, man. Holy fuck. Why wouldn't you work, man? Like, what's the problem here? What's wrong? But he's looking, she knows about. Man, it was working a second before. It was working a second ago, man. It was working like a literal seconds ago. Oh man, let's see. Okay, so this somehow works. Okay, this works. So when we go into update data texture, this works. Now, what's the difference? It's vector U8 vec3 image, and the data here is a pointer to this vector of unsigned characters. And when we do canvas data, what do we obtain? A pointer to this. Okay, for me, and I'm maybe like a smooth brain or somebody, this is the fucking same. Maybe let's look at it one more time. Let's copy it. Okay, let's be this precise. Let's copy it here. And bang. Shouldn't even be using that, but let's copy it. Okay, let's copy it. We are allocating it. So there's some data in it. We don't really know what data it is, but some data. Actually, if we'll call calloc, let's calloc, okay? and let's build it. And let's grab this one more time. Actually, let's grab this and let's make sure that this returns this very thing that we need. And now let's grab this and exchange here. And this should work. If it doesn't work, it means that something is terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. Yeah, so I don't even know how to react to this bullshit. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck. Well, now at least we know that this works. Honestly, what the fuck? Okay, this works. Awesome. And now we can work on the draw function. So maybe let's for a second not think about the optimization here, right? So we know that it's in bounds. We know that it's the distance is also okay. Okay, so now we'll do something like if the color, so if data to index is equal to brush color, do nothing. Return. And this is market, it's just abandon this altogether. Okay. Now this is pod racing. Pretty good. Okay, we have this. Okay, so that's actually a step. Step in a good direction. In a really good direction, I would even say. distance. Okay, so now the problem from what I see is that we have the indexes confused, and that's not really great. Let's try first of all maybe increasing this like 30 and see how it looks. Okay, so this I didn't think it worked. Okay, so it works like that. Okay, so there is a bigger problem at hand, I think. Okay, so the color fix might not be the play. I know, it sounds crazy, but I think it might not be the play. No, it can't do it like that. Okay, so if we just abandon it, we finally reach a moment where if we just reach endless recursion moment and we die. Okay, so this is not the best solution to this problem. It seems to me that we need to do this. How do I do this though? At least it doesn't throw an error. Yeah, so this is wrong, because what we need to be doing instead is subtracting start position minus, because this is the new root. And this will fall apart right now, but basically like something not happened there. I think at least. So need to also paste it here, and let's try. I think we need less logging here, because the logging kills the performance so much that we basically get useless code. Nice. Very nice. Nice, that is pretty cool. That is dope. That is dope. Okay. So this is pretty efficient, I believe, because we have the visited set. Yeah. One last thing we need to do is to reverse the x-axis. Y-axis, I mean. And how we do this is we take the height, y equals height minus y. Yeah, let's kind of play around a little bit. Let's see what happens if we do this. Yeah, it's excellent, Snake. Each hasn't slowed you down one bit. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, that would be it for today. It took me pretty fucking long, I think. Let's see. How long is the stream going for? 2 hours and 25 minutes to get this to work. I don't know if I'm supposed to be proud, I'm supposed to be embarrassed. But yeah, I got it to work, which with discounts, I guess. So yeah, goodbye.